But a lot of them come to me and they'll say, how do you do it? You go through all these subpoenas. You got indicted. Now, in my whole life, I didn't know what the N-word, I didn't know what indictment meant. You got indicted more than Alphonse Capone, Scarface.
He knows what the N-word is, of course. Let's stop it right there. He knows. Okay? Per Atlanta Black Star, Donald Trump sparked controversy at a Saturday campaign rally in Waterford Township, Michigan, where he fumbled a new version of the N-word into a speech about his ongoing legal troubles. The unforced error occurred as Trump attempted to say the word indictment, but instead blurted out N-word in an apparent Freudian slip before quickly correcting himself in his next breath. My whole life, I didn't know what the N-word I didn't know what indictment meant. The GOP frontrunner fumed before hundreds of his supporters after a judge ordered him to pay $355 million as part of a crushing civil fraud verdict in New York. Remember, it's now pretty much $500 million because of interest, the other cases. It's a lot of money. Trump's speech dripped with grievances and led to immediate speculation whether the N-word miscue was intentional, as Trump has been known for stirring racial tensions with innuendo and dog whistles aimed at riling up his MAGA base. Are you proud to be part of something like that? And that's just a question. You can't compartmentalize and leave one part out of it. That's a major source of inspiration and fuel for his base. Although Trump has never been recorded using the actual N-word, it appears he has gone out of his way at times to inject the euphemism or the racial term into matters where it doesn't seem to fit. During a 2022 interview with British journalist Piers Morgan, Trump used the N-word to describe the word nuclear while discussing Russian President Vladimir Putin's public comments about atomic weapons. Trump said, quote, Putin uses the N-word. I call it the N-word. He uses the N-word, the nuclear word, all the time. That's a no-no. You're not supposed to do that. His use of it then was widely seen as bizarre and out of context with the term's typical use as reference to a racial slur. Meanwhile, Chris Kise, Trump's principal lawyer in the New York case, told Newsweek Trump plans to challenge Judge Arthur Engoron's definition of fraud that led to the $355 million judgment, saying, quote, the case raises serious legal and constitutional questions regarding fraud claims and findings without any actual fraud. Now, this is a real lawyer. I do need the team to, this is a lawyer, right? And he is barred. He's gone to law school. Okay. I'm getting a thumbs up. Asked about the timing of the appeal, Kai said, quote, it will depend on many factors, so it's hard to say at the moment, but in any event, it will fall within the 30-day clock. Time's a ticking. That is allowed by the court. Kai's accused New York Attorney General Letitia James and Judge Engoron of trying to run Trump out of New York and said it was bad for the city. Newsweek, I mean, they are trying to run Trump out of New York. Okay, Captain Obvious? That's the plan. We don't want you here, okay? You're not good for the city. Fraud's not good for people. James sued Trump, his two adult sons, Donald Jr. and Eric, Trump Organization, and two, executives, Alan Weisselberg and Jeff McConney, September 2022. And Goron, who oversaw the trial, found that Trump inflated his assets to get more favorable business loans. Late last year, continuing into early January, a trial was held to determine how much the former president and his associates would pay in damages. February 16th, Engoron ruled Trump will have to pay roughly $355 million in penalties. Trump, Weisselberg, McConney. They'll also be barred from serving as an officer or director of any New York corporation or other legal entity in the state for 3 years. Donald Trump Jr. and Eric, they were ordered to pay more than $4 million and were barred from doing business in the state for 2 years. So I don't think it's enough. I'm not the judge, and I didn't hear every word of testimony, but just 3 years, it almost makes it worth it if you kind of just do the math and say, well, I got away with this. And again, we want to be clear here, right, Senator? That this isn't like a punishment. They're saying you must pay back the money. You stole money, basically. Ill-gotten gains, you have to repay them. What do you make, though, of this man who perhaps is out of touch with reality or just incredibly bratty and privileged, who has so many grievances? You've been given so much, and then you raped America's coffers and left office, and you brag about being able to get money from mere mortals, and a little funding at a time, little donations at a time. What do you make of someone who it just rolls off the tongue, these grievances? This isn't real, is it?
Well, it's his privileged position. I mean, you named it. It is bratty. It's a very grown man at this stage of his life, almost 80, who's still acting like a teenager. And he is a privileged person, has been one since birth, and you can see it. He's never grown up at all. It's very clear. And yeah, you're right. He has to pay that money back. And I know they're going to appeal, but yeah, they said that you got to do that. What, $340 something million? Oh yeah, bro, you got to pay that back. They will appeal. I don't know, Sharon, the N-word thing, let me go back to that. Well, no, before I go there, stock trading, for example. I mean, Trump has been clear about how he wants to exploit and pillage. I mean, he said he was going to become president, that he was going to drain the swamp. He neglected to tell people that he was captain of the team. And though you have so many elected officials who are very much a part of that swamp, and I get it. If people are a Democrat, they don't want to talk about their teammates who are part of the swamp. If you're a Republican, you turn the other cheek on or turn your back on what your teammates are doing. Both political parties do that, and especially in reference to this stock trading. It should be illegal to do so, to be able to write the rules and then to make money from it. That is happening in this Congress as we speak, which has nothing to do with Donald J. Trump. Those were the rules before he became president. They are the rules now. And you have several elected officials over the course of many Congresses that have introduced legislation to stop this from happening. And you have no takers. Even when Democrats are in control, they will not change these rules, because guess what? The corporatists of both parties make money from this type of corruption, Sharon. So whether it's Donald J. Trump or Nancy Pelosi or Joseph R. Biden, you name it, these people are making that kind of money, and it is legal to do so. And we should put a stop. We should put a stop to it as a country. As far as the N-word, I don't know, Sharon, indictment.
I don't understand
it. And a Freudian slip, is an unintentional error that somebody makes that reveals some subconscious thoughts. And that is what makes this story intriguing in a way, because he confused if only the N-word really did mean indictment, Sharon, this would be a whole different world. I'm gonna lighten up on them. I rarely do on this, because indictment, the N-word, and he did rebound rather quickly. Now, if we're gonna hold Donald J. Trump accountable for this Freudian slip, then oh my God, Joseph R. Biden.
Oh goodness.
Many.
Okay. And you're right, and you're so right to boil it down to what it is. Okay, the first part of your commentary. Stop making it so complicated about all these regulations. You are writing the rules and you're benefiting from them. And it's both sides, okay? They could do away with that, but damn it, they just won't do it, will they? I wonder why. Because to the victor goes the spoils. Oh, that's right. You think you own it. Are you that different than other places? I'm just asking for a friend.